Welcome to the University of Concordia Irvine side of today's California Collegiate League matchup between the home team Orange County Riptide and the visiting Arroyo Seco Saints. Hello and welcome. My name is Michael Hofling, ready to take you on a journey, a 9-inning journey between a team that's arguably the hottest in all of the CCL and the Saints were trying to keep up, just fell behind the Riptide in the standings. Now a half game behind, looking to climb back up. With a win today, they would swap places in the Southern Division. The Riptide currently stand at 6-4 off the back of 5 straight wins, looking to make it 6. And the last 2 have been against the same Arroyo Seco Saints team on Saturday and Friday. A pair of wins and a pair of their 2 biggest run-scoring games of the season. 13 on Friday, 9 on Saturday. Only 2 for Arroyo Seco in each of those games. So they've outscored them by a combined score of 22-4 the last 2 days, now looking to make it a sweep. They did have the day off yesterday, though. Happy Father's Day to everyone. And we get ready. The lineup for the Saints today is going to be Brian Smith, Gabe Chavez, Spencer Mossberg, Blake Burton, Tyler Durna, the new acquisition for the Saints, Alex Briggs, Mitch Kerner, and Greg White. So that's going to be who Charlie Vorshek is going to go up against. Charlie Vorshek, the big righty, getting ready, number 18. And the first pitch of the ball game. Looked like a little cutter on the outside corner. 0-1. Vorshek gets off to a quick first strike. Second pitch to Smith. Smith lines this one into right field, slaps it. Prente giving chase. He's not going to get there in time, and that's going to bounce over the fence. A ground rule double. So second pitch of the game gets taken pretty deep, not out of the yard, but one bounce, and it's over the fence. And with nobody out in the top of the first, there's going to be a runner in scoring position for the Saints. Brian Smith out of Occidental College. That's a SCIAC school, the Southern California Athletic Conference, Division III. I'm from a school in that conference, Chapman University. And not trying to toot my own horn, but we did beat Occidental this year. There's a line drive back of the middle. Fletcher coming in, makes the catch. Tries the back door. Smith at second, but doesn't get there in time. One away, but that was a hard hit by Chavez. Chavez doesn't have the most power, but he is very good at squaring people up. The small second baseman needs to do what he can. Not necessarily a slap hitter. He can pull it if he has to, but he's very good at lining it back up the middle. Spencer Mossberg up to the plate now. Coming into this series, he was first in the entire CCL in batting average. That ball gets away from Ewell behind the plate. Smith will head up 90 feet, and now he's at third. And Mossberg's hot hitting has continued into this series, although his team hasn't scored many runs. He has been a contributor to the runs that they have scored. Had an RBI on Friday and scored a run on Saturday. And the pitch fouled straight back into the mask of Ewell. Ewell has already taken the ball underneath the mask this year, had to sit out for a couple games after that, and already having a little bit of difficulty with foul balls. That one actually knocked off his mask, but he seems to be all right. Just checked it for any damage and headed back. Spencer Mossberg, before this series, was batting .526. A big swing and a miss, strike 2 on the changeup from Vorshek. Mossberg swung over the top of that one. .526 was his average before Friday's game against this Riptide team. And since then, it's dropped nearly 100 points. He only has 1 hit in the last 2 games. .429 now. That's a slider down low. Nice block by Ewell behind the plate. 2-2, the count's even. He's currently second on the Saints in terms of batting average. First is Blake Burton, who's going to be batting next. He's on deck. The 2-2 grounded to the third baseman. Gomez on one hop, a high hop, tosses on over to first for out number 2. But a run does come across. Smith crosses home plate, and it's an early 1-0 lead for the Saints. And this is not usual for this Riptide team. The past couple of games In fact, during their entire 5-game win streak, they've only trailed once, and that came against the Conejo Oaks. They were down 2-0 early on that game and then went on to score 15. That came after the starter came out. First pitch to Burton was in there at the knees. A fastball, 0-1. And the 0-1 delivery. A little breaking ball popped into the air right field. Parente moving towards the line and makes the catch with 2 hands. That's how you do it, kids. So a leadoff ground rule double. 1 hit, nobody left on base. 1 run across. Saints get out to an early 1-0 lead. Riptide's turn at bat. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. It's the Riptide turn to take the bats, and they're going to go up against the southpaw, Zach Phillips. And Phillips has had himself a phenomenal year thus far. In his 5 innings pitched, has a 0 ERA, and also has a save, so usually finds himself in the later innings as a relief guy. But today he gets the start, and the Arroyo Saints, they need this one. First pitch to Parente is fouled off the leg, his right leg, 0-1. Let's go over the lineup for the home team Riptide. Leading off, Joey Parente. Will Proctor's in the 2 spot. Number 3, and the hottest guy in the lineup, Dominic Fletcher. He's had 2 home runs in as many games. David Miranda, welcome him back at DH. Jake Polshin's going to be at first. Cooper Yule, Connor Beck, Paul Gomez, and Bo Phillip. They're going to try to score the runs today to help support Charlie Vorshek. Count is 1-1 to Parente. That last pitch was a breaking ball that was left up high. Parente, one of the best players on this Riptide team through the season thus far. He's been a consistent table setter. And I'm not talking in a fancy dinner type of way. I'm talking in terms of run production. He can steal bases, hit it to all fields, and he's got some great speed. The 1-2. 2-seam fastball that's left just outside. Good eye by Parente. It's 2-2. The count's even. Parente on the year, 346. Slider low and outside, full count. And you think 346 is good. That's nothing compared to what he had earlier in the year when he was batting nearly 400. And this is what we call a Parente slump as he lines that one back into right center field for a single. A Parente slump compared to a regular slump, you can say that that's what Bo Phillip was having at the beginning of the year, where he wasn't making good contact and he wasn't able to find any holes, wasn't getting any look. A Parente slump is when you go 2 for 5 with no extra base hits for a couple games in a row. That's a Parente slump, and you know you're a great player when that's considered a slump for you. First pitch to Proctor. There's a strike of fastball just on the outside corner, 0-1. Proctor has had himself a good year as well. I could say this for almost everybody in the Riptide lineup. They have all had phenomenal success under head coach Tiger Peterson. The 0-1. Another fastball. This one's on the inside corner. 0-2. So outside, inside. Now looking for something off speed. Proctor very patient at the plate with 2 strikes. I like to talk about his aggression. But it always seems like when he gets the 2 strikes, because with his aggression, he tends to fall behind in counts. But with that aggression, when he gets to 2 strikes, he becomes much more patient and much more willing to wait for his situation, for his pitch. And that might sound bad with 2 strikes, but still, he knows the strike zone so well that he can just... Parente gets picked off at first. A very quick move from Phillips. And the southpaw gets Parente leaning. And Phillips showing a little bit of gratitude toward his first baseman. That was a nice play by Derna, the new recruit, the new guy out there for the Saints. His first game with them. And the 0-2 swung on and missed by Proctor, so what was a runner on first and nobody out is now 2 gone, no one on. That's going to bring up Dominic Fletcher. The Riptide are down 1-0, an early 1-0 lead for the Saints after a leadoff ground rule double from Brian Smith. But there's one man who can tie it up. It's Dominic Fletcher. He's had 2 home runs in as many games. And the first pitch is a slider that's low and away, 1-0. Fletcher did hit a home run in the first inning, the top of the first, in their last game in Pasadena against the Saints team. The 0-1, another slider that lands on the outside corner, 1-1. He and I actually had a little bit of a bet going. He had a bunch of opportunities with people on base. A big swing and a miss there, 1-2 the count is. There were a bunch of opportunities where he had a lot of people on base, and this is when the Riptide sort of had the game under control. They were up 7-2 or 6-2. And Dom came up with 2 people on base, and he was the first time, and I said, 3-run homer. I need $30, man. And he said, "Whew, I like the sound of that." Next time he was on deck, and I was talking to him, and there was runners at first and second. There's a slider just left just inside. The count runs full. So 3-2, 2 outs here, 1-0 Saints. So he was on deck. There was a runner on first and second, and the man up to bat was Will Proctor. Actually, it was Bo Phillip. Phillip got the start at the number 2 spot. Ground ball to the shortstop. Gabri tosses on, and that's out number 3. So quick 1-2-3, not how you'd normally expect, but a nice pickoff move from Phillips has the score 1-0. I'll finish that story later. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael O'Fling. Stay tuned. Top of the second here at the University of Concordia Irvine. It's 1-0 Saints. Charlie Vorshek gave up that leadoff ground rule double, and there's almost no coming back from that. He's going to face off against Tyler Derna, Derek Gabri, and Alex Briggs. First pitch. Fastball right down Main Street, 0-1. Tyler Durner from UCSD. I mentioned it's his first game with the Saints today. And he has got some good pop from the left side. The righty delivers. The hammer on the inside corner. It lands 0-2. Something about UCSD that I find quite perplexing. The UCSD Tritons. And their mascot is a Triton, at least that's what the picture is. There's the slider that he tried to backdoor. Left it outside, though, 1-2. And their mascot, or at least their logo, is a trident. Why are they called the Tritons, then? So I looked it up. A Triton is a moon in Neptune, the largest moon in Neptune. Ground ball back up the middle. Proctor giving chase, but he's not going to get there in time. A leadoff single for Durna. He's on first. Nobody out. But that confused me, so I looked it up. Is a Triton anything other than the moon of Neptune? And I found out he's actually a Greek god, the messenger of the sea. And I thought that there was going to be a difference between a Triton and a Trident, and there is. Triton holds a trident. So, there we go. First pitch. Inside with a fastball, 1-0 to Derek Gabri. Shortstop made a nice play to end the bottom of the first. Gabri's been quiet during this series, no hits thus far. Vorshek from the stretch, he delivers. Swung on and drilled into the 56-hole left field. It's going to be first and second, nobody out. Vorshek did not have this kind of trouble the first time he faced Arroyo Seco. That was his last start for the team. And it was against the same Arroyo Seco Saints team, and guess what? It was the very first game of the year. 4.32 ERA in his 2 games. He's pitched 8 1/3. Has a little bit of trouble with his hits. Currently holds a 180 whip. So he has a little trouble working around people on base. But he's been good to limit the damage. And he strikes out 6 people to everybody he walks. That's a good ratio anywhere. Bunt shown there by Briggs. He holds back, so the changeup falls low. It's 1-0. The runner at second is Durna. At first it's Gabri. Back-to-back singles to lead off the top of the second. Vorshek looking to limit the damage. It's 1-0 Saints. This bunt is fouled straight back. Let's go through the defense for the Riptide. From left to right, we have Connor Beck, Joey Parente, and Dominic Fletcher. Dominic Fletcher is in center. Parente is in right. At third is Paul Gomez. He's in the hot corner. Over at the other side, Jake Polshin's at first. And the 2 men up the middle are Will Proctor at second and Bo Phillip at short. Another bunt attempt here. And he pulls back just in time. A fastball in the dirt. A nice stop by Ewell. And it's 2-1. I just talked about Ewell. He's in the squat, getting down the signs. David Miranda's DHing, and Charlie Vorshek's on the mound. The 2-1. This one's bunted down the line, foul once again, dribbled at a pretty much perpendicular angle from the batter Briggs. Vorshek looking to get the first out, already given up 1 run in this one. The count is 2-2. The delivery. This is grounded to the third baseman. Gomez has it on 2 hops. 5-4-3, a double play. Nice job by Gomez. He just reached out his hand. It looked like it got through him for a second. And also a nice play by the runner from second, Durna. He saw that the ground ball was ahead of him, stopped for a little bit, didn't allow Gomez to tag him, moved around the attempted tag from Gomez. Instead of a triple play, it's just a double play. So nice plays all around there, good base running, and that's a play you want to watch in the film if you're a kid trying to learn how to better your play. So now there's 2 away with a runner on third. And the first pitch to Mitch Kerner, the catcher, is down low, 1-0. Waiting on deck, the 9th spot, Greg White. White, unlike most of these Saints, has had himself a pretty good series. He's been one of the few bright spots for them in the lineup. And the 1-0 swung on and fouled to the right side and out of play over in the French Hill Reserve. 1-1, the count's even. On the year, Mitch Kerner, a .500 average in only 4 games played. He does not qualify for the leaders, but he has done very well for himself. 5 hits and 10 at-bats, all of them singles. Yet to get his first extra base hit. Does have a stolen base, too. Here's a line drive to right field. Parente has a beat on it and makes the catch about 5 feet off the line and right. So Vorshek works his way out of 2 leadoff singles, and it remains 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. The Riptide look to tie it up. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Offling. Stay tuned. Leading off the bottom of the second for the Riptide from Florida Atlantic University, it's David Miranda. Miranda, I'm glad to have him back. He has been a consistent run producer all year, making his first game back when he spent time off, expecting to be drafted. And he gets beamed on the very first pitch he sees. He'll head on down to first. So a battle scar, but he'll take it. That puts a runner on for the second straight inning to lead it off. And for the 4th time in as many half innings, we have the leadoff man on. However, 2 of the previous 3 have not led to any runs. That's going to bring up Jake Polshin from Houston Baptist. First pitch, swung on and fouled, straight back, slightly to the right. 0-1. Miranda, very small lead over there at first. He saw Parente got picked off. Doesn't have quite the agility of Parente, but he is very smart, so he knows not to test the limits of Phillips. The 0-1, fastball left up high, 1-1, the count's even. Mentioning how much that the Riptide like Miranda back. He missed the last 5 games. Before this one, he had a .435 average before the break. And he had 8 RBIs, which led the Riptide. Here's a fly ball right center, tracked down by the center fielder Smith. And there's a 1 away with a runner on first still. But Miranda, he had 8 RBIs, which led the Riptide at the time. Since then, it's been taken by Proctor, who has 11. But even still, even missing the last 5 games, Miranda is still 8th in the California Collegiate League in RBIs. And to show you how good that the Riptide have been in offense recently, Proctor is currently 2nd, and Bo Phillip, he's 4th. And the Riptide have the 5th most, have 5 people in the top 25 most among CCL teams. Here's a line drive down the right field line. If it's fair, it's trouble, but it slices just foul. Greg White, the right fielder, giving chase, but couldn't get there in time. A nice line drive, but it tends to do that. And it seems like Ewell knew it before he even left the batter's box. He could see it slicing and just started to head back. It was a pretty far ways off the line, but from right here, it looked like it might be fair. So the count is 1-1 to Cooper Ewell. Cooper Ewell from Loyola Marymount University. The 1-1. Fastball left outside from the lefty Phillips. 2-1. He was on the All WCC freshman team after he appeared in 44 games and started 36 for LMU. He only hit .210, but as you know, a catcher, very defensive position, and Cooper provides phenomenal defense from that spot. He's thrown out all but one potential base stealers for the Riptide this year. Also calls a spectacular game. And it's a little unfortunate because Ewell has been out the past couple of games, and it's been up to Mitch Andrews, who's been behind the plate recently. There's another pickoff attempt there. Another quick move from Phillips, but Miranda read it nice and slid back in safely. But Mitch Andrews, he was struggling through the first part of the year and has really just started to heat up with 4 hits in his last 2 games, and now he's taking a seat for the returning Ewell. Ewell swings at this one, popped foul and out of play down the right field line. 3-2, the count's full. 1 run on 3 hits for the Saints. No runs on 1 hit for the Riptide. That was a Joey Parenti leadoff single, and then he promptly got picked off. Miranda's on first via a HBP, hit by pitch. The 3-2 pitch is lined into the 34 hole. The hit and run works, and Miranda's going to be on third. It's going to be first and third, and the ball gets by. Miranda's going to head home. Ewell is going to head for third, and he's going to turn back and just stay at second, playing it safe. But the hit and run, a very nice call from Tiger Peterson, and it worked to perfection. The second baseman Briggs headed over to the bag to try to cover the steal. Meanwhile, Ewell just slapped it the opposite way into right field. And nobody there. It was a huge hole. And then the throw from Greg White, a little bit short. The third baseman Chavez tried to come up and get it on one hop, but couldn't do it. And Miranda, very aware of his surroundings in the dugout, letting him know to go. So just a good play all around for the Riptide and very smart baseball. And they tied this game up. It's 1-1. Only the second hit for the Riptide. Ewell is on second now. Runner in scoring position with 1 away for Connor Beck, the left fielder. Beck awaits the pitch from Phillips. Fastball that's on the inside corner and at the knees, 0-1. Beck, in his first game with the Riptide, actually traveled with the team on Saturday and was here on Friday but was not dressed. Looking to make a good first impression. The count is 1-1. A 1-out double. I call it a single and an error by Cooper Ewell. Has the game tied. This one's grounded to the left side. The third baseman Chavez has it and makes a nice strong throw to get Beck by 1.5 steps. So there's going to be 2 away now. Still a runner in scoring position. An opportunity to drive in another one for Paul Gomez from Cypress Junior College. Paul Gomez has been being looked at recently by a lot of Division I schools. San Diego State was here on Friday. Wanted to get a good look at him, and I'd say he impressed. Had 2 RBIs and a 1-for-4 performance. He's actually also been in talks with TCU, the Horned Frogs, always a successful baseball school. A swing and a miss on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Gomez started the year at third base against this Arroyo Seco team. Struggled in his first game, but who didn't? It was a 2-0 game. The Riptide got shut out in their season opener, at least in league play. And since then, he did not start a single game until they came to face the Saints once again in this 3-game set. And since then, he has had that spot at third, or second in most cases. Logan Polson not here today. So he's had the spot at second or short and has not let it go. Has taken it from Will Proctor. Proctor, for most times, has to DH since Gomez took over that second base spot. Here's a line drive down the left field line, hooking foul. So Gomez got good wood on it, but just a little bit early, and Ewell will head back to second. Count remains 0-2. Gomez, one of the few players on this Riptide team that actually chokes up a little bit on the bat in the two-strike situation. I was talking to him about it, and he said he just likes to have a little bit quicker hands. And he knows that he knows the whole talk of you don't want to switch your approach, or you do want to switch your approach, but you don't want to switch your methodology or your timing. And that's why a lot of players don't choke up on the bat. The count's 1-2. But Gomez likes to have quicker bat speed, quicker hands, so he can foul off those close pitches. Count is 1-2, and the pitch. The hammer left up high, 2-2. Ewell, the man at second, got there via an RBI single and an error. It's very likely that Miranda would not have scored without the error. So there's deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second, looking for their second run of the inning. The 2-2. Phillip fires, and it's low and inside. A nice stop by Kerner behind the plate, dropping to his knees. Avoided the 5-hole. Count runs full. He does have a base open, but on deck waits one of the hottest hitters in the CCL, in Bo Phillip. The full count pitch, the payoff. Swung on and dribbled back to the pitcher. Phillips has it on one hop. Underhands it to Derna at first, and that's out number 3. But not before the Riptide score 1. The RBI single by Cooper Ewell has this game tied up. We head to the top of the third at the University of Concordia Irvine. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the University of Concordia in Irvine. I'm Michael Hofling. It's a 1-1 ball game. The Riptide looking to take their 6th in a row, and their 3rd in a row against the Arroyo Saints. First pitch to the 9th spot, Greg White, low and outside with the fastball. It's 1-0. Greg White has played spectacularly the last few games. An amazing right fielder. Here's a line drive to the shortstop. Phillip, a hop, skip, and a jump for out number 1. He made a nice play. And if you're Greg White, you can't be discouraged by that one. That was a spectacular contact, and that's hard to handle. That's a lot like what Bo Phillip was going through in his first few games when he was struggling to get that average up. Just a lot of hard contact, a lot of sharply hit ground balls, a little bit of mistiming, balls that would have been trouble, but they were just foul. And since then, he has not looked back. And he's a potential All-Star. The All-Star game is coming up. And there are a lot of Riptide players who could potentially be on that team, most of which is arguably Bo Phillip. And you also got Will Proctor. Here's a line drive into right field. Parente is going to have it on one hop, but there is going to be a man on first. Smith is on. He's 2 for 2 on the day, a double and a single. Will Proctor, Bo Phillip, David Miranda, Logan Poulsen, Jake Polshin, Dominic Fletcher, Will Tomlinson, Joey Parente. So many players that could end up playing in that All-Star game, and we hope to see as many as we can. That's just a few. Those are the few that came to my mind, but there are a whole bunch of worthy Riptide players. One away and a runner on first for Gabe Chavez, who takes a fastball left up high by Vorshek, 1-0. Currently the Riptide first place in the Southern Division. Here's a pop-up foul straight back into the jungle. 1-1, the count's even. Runner at first is Smith. The two teams at the top of the leaderboards in the entire conference are the Neptune Beach Pearl. There goes Smith. The throwdown by Ewell is in time. Smith gets in there standing as it bounced off the glove of Proctor. So Smith thought he was going to be hosed, and from right here it looked like it was going to be, but not able to be handled by Proctor, goes off of his glove, and that's going to be a stolen base for Brian Smith. But the two teams at the top of the conference leaderboard, currently sitting at 8-1, Neptune Beach Pearl, and at 8-3, the Healdsburg Prune Packers. They're both in the Northern Division. And it only matters if you win your division. That's what matters for the playoffs for the most part. So those two teams really trying to battle it out, and we'll see how that one ends up. But the Riptide lead the Southern Division, a half game above this Saints team, and a game up on the Long Beach Legends. Here's a ground ball into the hole. Phillip, a backhanded play. Derek Jeter, not in time. When I say Derek Jeter, I mean a throw from a backhand on a hop as well. And that was a spectacular play. That would have been SportsCenter worthy should Polshin have gotten it in time. That was a nice stretch from the first baseman, but the speed of Chavez got there in time. It does set up the double play, though, with runners at first and second, and already one double play in this game for the Riptide, and that was a 5-4-3 Gomez to Proctor to Polshin. First pitch to Mossberg. A breaking ball, low and outside corner, 0-1. So the North Division have really run away with the leaderboards. Here's a hard hit line drive into left field. That's going to be a one-hopper off the wall. Beck gets to it as fast as he can. One run will score. And they're going to hold up Chavez at third, but the Saints retake the lead. They're up 2-1, and now there's two runners in scoring position off the double from Mossberg. And now time getting called. They're going to go out there and talk to the pitcher. And Glenn Walker, the standing head coach, Tiger Peterson not here today. And Vorshek hasn't really had trouble commanding the zone. He has had trouble hitting his spots, though. And that's what's led to a lot of hard contact for the Saints. There have only been 7 outs thus far against the Saints. And I know that 3 of those at least have been very, very hard hit. But just great plays from Paul Gomez, Dominic Fletcher, and Bo Phillip have helped out Vorshek's cause. So not the same story for Vorshek as the first time he faced this team when he gave up just 2 runs in 5 innings. Already 2 runs across, and we're not through the third. And coming up to bat is going to be Blake Burton, the designated hitter, who currently leads the Saints team in batting average. First pitch is in there, strike 1. Burton, 444 average. 11 singles and 1 home run. So he does have good pop and can take you out. It does not strike out a lot either. Only 4 strikeouts in 28 plate appearances. Count is 1-1. They do have an open base, but waiting on deck is the new guy, Tyler Durna. So very good protection throughout the lineup for the Saints. The 1-1 is Flied very high into right field. Parente moving back on the warning track. He makes the catch. And tagging from second and third are the runners. Gabe Chavez will come in to score. And it's 2 runs across in this inning as the Saints take a 3-1 lead. Mossberg also moved from second to third, but there is 2 gone now for Tyler Durna.
Next up, the first baseman, number 3, Tyler Durna.
Vorshek, the righty, out of the stretch still. First pitch is fouled to the left and out of play. Durna, a sophomore at UCSD. As a freshman, he appeared in 26 games with 20 starts, and he is pretty much a pure first baseman. And something about him, he's a very streaky hitter. And I'm not saying like he'll go several games where he goes no hits and then a bunch where he goes 4 for 4 with a couple extra base hits. I'm talking he either gets no hits or he gets 2 hits in a game. You might say that's inconsistent, but I call that a great player with great potential who is yet to tap into it. And that being said, he still has made very good impacts at UCSD, and I'm sure he's going to make great impacts for this Saints team as well down the stretch. This is a ground ball into the hole, into left field for a base hit. Mossberg will come to score, and Durna has himself an RBI single. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Now coming up to the plate is the shortstop, Derek Gabri. Gabri, not your typical shortstop, more of a Brandon Crawford type of shortstop. Has a great glove and a pretty good bat, but not the greatest speed that you normally see out of shortstops. However, the game is evolving. You don't have to fit a certain role. You just have to play your position well. First pitch from Vorshek. Fastball right down Broadway. 0-1. So Gabri from St. Leo University. The 0-1. There's the hammer just high. Dropped into the zone. And Yule didn't even move his glove. But that's what makes a good umpire. They can see where the ball crosses the plate, not where it ends up in the glove of the catcher. So that one was up high when it crossed the plate. 1-1. And the 1-1 is drilled into left field once again. Finds the hole. And there's going to be 2 on, 2 outs. Already 2 runs across in this inning. Vorshek finds himself down 4-1 early. We're only in the top of the third. For St. Leo, Gabri was the only player to start all 49 games in 2016. He is a middle infielder, can play second base, and as a freshman, 281 average. That's very tough to do. As a first baseman, had exactly 50 hits on the year. That's more hits than games played as a freshman. So Gabri has himself a bright future. He's standing on first now, and the first pitch to Alex Briggs on the outside corner with a slider. 0-1. Briggs has not had the greatest series. Came in as a pinch hitter in the last game. Went 0 for 1. Briggs struggled in the field in the first game, getting 2 errors and allowing multiple runs to come across for the Riptide. That was a big reason why they were able to get that early lead and eventually win that game 13-2. They gathered a lot of momentum. The 1-1 is down low with the breaking ball. 2-1. And the 2-1 delivery from Vorshek. Fastball at the knees. 2-2. The count's even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. 3 runs across. It's 4-1 Saints. 4 runs on 7 hits. Riptide have won 5 in a row. Not looking to end that streak today. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him. Vorshek's first strikeout. Grab some pine, Briggs. We head to the bottom of the third. It's 4-1 Saints on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. Coming up to bat for the Riptide, it's Bo Phillip. Phillip is the only Riptide player to start every single game for the team this year. And he has rewarded them after a pretty slow start, has really picked it up, and now rides a 7-game hit streak. Brought his average from .091, below 100, to .324. So he has really built his confidence, has started to gel, and is feeling himself at the plate. He's looking like himself as he was at San Joaquin Delta Junior College. The 0-1 swung on in line, down the right field line, out of play, foul. Counts 0-2. Phillip, comfortable in the 0-2 situation. I mentioned San Joaquin Delta Junior College and how good he was. You want to know just how good he was? In all of California, he led junior colleges in runs. There's a swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout for Phillips. He led all of California in runs. He was 3rd in plate appearances, 6th in hits, 6th in at-bats, 6th in games, 5th in runs batted in, 3rd in walks. Very patient at the plate. And 3rd in stolen bases. So he had himself quite the year for the team. Now the top of the line with the slider. Outside corner 0-1. Parente not pleased with that call. And another slider. Moves quite a bit. I would not be able to keep up with that one, but it's down low, 1-1. Parente is 1 for 1. And the 1-1 is the number 1, a fastball just outside, 2-1. So Parente got a single his last time up and then got picked off. It was a leadoff single in the top of the first. Here he swings and drills this one to the shortstop. Gabri gets to a knee and fires on the first to get the speedy Parente for out number 2. So some good leather work there by the shortstop, Gabri. And now there's 2 away, nobody on. Will Proctor is going to look to try to cut into that deficit. They're down by 3. It's 4-1 in favor of the visiting Saints. A 3-run top of the 3rd. Looking to answer are the Riptide. And the first pitch to Proctor. Swung on and dribbled to the 3rd baseman, Chavez. Big crow hop. He has a lot of time. And he gets Proctor. A nice stretch by Derna at first. Gets him for out number 3. So we head to the top of the 4th. Still a 4-1 ball game in favor of the Saints. Riptide need to do something. Find themselves down for the first time in a while. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. New pitcher in for the Riptide. 13, Will Tomlinson from Brown University. And Tomlinson, strikeout stuff. He has been shut down all year long. Looking to keep that going. First pitch is going to be to Mitch Kerner, and it is a fastball left up high, 1-0. Will Tomlinson has been so lights out this year. I mentioned him as one of the potential All-Stars for the Riptide in the upcoming CCL All-Star game. 154 ERA in his 11 2/3, and there's a ground ball back up the middle. Phillip makes a nice play behind second base and tosses on to first. So Phillip flashes the leather. Nice spinorama for out number 1. And right now, Phillip is over at second, and Proctor is over at short. They sort of switch positions, both going for that ground ball. And that's good communication from the two middle infielders as well. Proctor was right behind Phillip in case he didn't make the play. There's one away now. Tomlinson currently leads the CCL in strikeouts. Tied for first at least with 15. First pitch, the slider at the knees, 0-1. He's tied for first with Solomon Bates from the Academy Barons. And he has had himself quite a season. And he's also got the brains. You have to go to Brown. Another slider. This one's on the outside corner and at the knees, 0-2. That is Tomlinson's strikeout pitch. We'll see if he goes to that once again, or if he goes with a fastball up above the hands, or just tries to get him here. A challenge fastball, perhaps, to Greg White. The 0-2 from the windup. Tomlinson toes and delivers. There's the slider. Tried to front door him, but left it just inside. Good frame job by Ewell. However, Ewell was set up on the outside corner and had to move to the inside spot, so Tomlinson misses his spot. But no harm, no foul. Counts 1-2 now, still in control. Tomlinson fires a fastball at the knees. He got him looking and grabs some pine, White. So Tomlinson comes in, and the second batter he faces is his first strikeout, matching Vorshek through the first 3 innings. So 2 up, 2 down, and now it's going to be the top of the lineup, Brian Smith, who is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. However, Tomlinson is very tough, and he wants to have a very quick inning. It is hot out here, but not as hot as it was in Pasadena on Saturday. That was blistering 94. I actually had to leave at some point and get drinks. It was that hot. However, a very generous spectator offered me and my friend a water. We were able to get through. 0-1 the count to Smith. Another slider. He got that back door to work that time. Counts 1-1. Tomlinson from the windup delivers. This is grounded to the second baseman. Proctor waits back on it, 2 hops, and gets it on to first. Pulshin, a nice grab, and that's out number 3. So it's still 4-1, but the Riptide get their first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game off the right arm of Will Tomlinson. They head to the bottom of the 4th, looking to back up their pitcher. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Bottom of the fourth, the University of Concordia Irvine, a 4-1 deficit that the Riptide face. Phillips returns out there for his fourth inning of work. He has been lights out, 1 run, and it was unearned. First man he's going to face is Dominic Fletcher, and they've done a good job of making sure Fletcher comes up with nobody on. The 1-0 pitch, a half swing and a miss by Fletcher, 1-1, the count's even. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Saints. Here's another slider that's grounded foul to the right side in front of the Arroyo Seco bullpen. Fletcher has lots and lots of power. Was near the top of the leaderboards in terms of SEC homers for freshmen this year with 12. There's another fastball that goes straight back into the fence. 1-2, and that was almost straight at our iPad. Knocked the stream off guard, but just listen to my soothing voice and let me know. I'll let you know the truth of what's happening. The 1-2 is high and tight on another breaking ball. 2-2, the count's even. I promise I won't tell you a lie until we get that fixed. Then maybe I'll tell you a couple lies, but you'll be able to see it at that point. So I'll never make sure you won't be able to know. 2-2, the count to Fletcher, and the pitch. This one's popped up. Looks like it's going to be out of play. It's very high, but it stays in play, and Kerner can make the catch near the fence. So the count will remain 2-2. Two and two. Fletcher awaiting the delivery. Phillips has pitched spectacularly. The 2-2. Swung on and missed. The high heat got him. Couldn't catch up to it. Third strikeout of the game for Phillips sends Fletcher back. So 1 away, nobody on. And coming up to bat is David Miranda.
University number 14, David Miranda.
Miranda, the slugger for Florida Atlantic. A lot of speculation on whether or not he would be drafted this year. He did not, which is bad news for him, but great news for the Riptide. They love to have him back. He is loved in this household. Want to know the count? A slider. Started outside and was even further outside when it broke. 2-0. And the 2-0 delivery from Phillips. Swung on and missed. The changeup got Miranda out on his front foot. Looks like he was expecting fastball and got the opposite. Miranda, 8 RBIs on the year. Has not had one in any of the past 5 games for this team. .435 average coming into today. He is 0 for 1. He's 0 for 0 actually. Got hit by a pitch his last time up. Count runs full after that fastball goes on the outside corner. We're fixing that stream for you. Our manager, Zoe Stanley, in charge of doing that. And the full count pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 straight strikeouts for Phillips. And now there's 2 down, both via the swinging strikeout for Jake Polshin. Thank you, Zoe. The fans at home appreciate you. First pitch to Polshin. Big swing and a miss. Polshin trying to knock one out there. It's 0-1. Polshin, normally a catcher playing first base. He has been for the past few games. A very hot bat. 0-2 as he fouls that one off to the right side. Riptide in danger of having another quick inning. It would be their second in a row. Polshin faces an 0-2 count, the dreaded 0-2. He fouls this one off and to the right. Again, this one a little bit farther. And goes over the hill through the woods. Count remains 0-2. Phillips, the windup, and the pitch. A slider. Such late break. That is absolutely devastating. From up here, I can barely tell where it's going to go. That looks to be a strikeout pitch. Trying to get the back foot of Polshin, but Polshin held up. 1-2. And here's a line drive down the right field line. White giving chase and making a nice running catch. He was playing and shading a little bit closer to the line and work to his benefit there. So 3 up, 3 down for the Riptide. They face a deficit of 3. It's 4-1 Saints as we head to the 5th. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. We're in the top of the 5th here at the University of Concordia Irvine. The home team Riptide, a.k.a. the good guys, in my opinion, are down 4-1. And the leadoff man facing Will Tomlinson is going to be Gabriel Chavez. Gabe Chavez for short. First pitch from Tomlinson. A bunt down the third base line. It's a good one, but charging was Gomez. The barehanded play and a big scream let out by the Riptide dugout. And they're going to say he's safe. They're going to say Polshin was juggling it and couldn't make the play. Unfortunately, we do not have replay potential here at the University of Concordia Irvine, so that cannot be reviewed. So the Sports Center level play overturned. And Gomez, don't worry about it, man. You deserve a drink, or I'm not quite sure if he's 21. Either way, you deserve something. There we go, Gatorade. You deserve a bath. Thank you. One of the fans shouted that out to me. Have to give him props. So arguably the first base hit. We're unsure whether that's going to be an error, and Coach Glenn Walker going out to talk to the umpire and argue the call. But as of right now, it's going to be Gabe Chavez on first. And that's going to be the 4th time in 5 innings that the leadoff man for the Saints has reached base. From right here, it didn't look like Polshin had trouble dealing with the throw. The throw was right on target. It was a bullet from the right hand of Gomez, and Gomez has had a little bit of difficulty with that right hand, not in terms of throwing or anything, but he does have tape on it, athletic tape. He's been seeing the trainers a lot about it before every game. That was a spectacular play, some Manny Machado type, Eric Chavez looking material, and that should go on a reel if you have one. However, it looks like the call is going to stand. Glenn Walker moving back to the dugout for the Riptide. And there's going to be no one out, one on for Spencer Mossberg. So Gabe Chavez, that's his 11th base hit of the year, which leads. Actually, it's his 12th. He's 2 for 2 on the day and leads the Saints. And the next man up with 11 is Mossberg. He's at the plate right now. First pitch to Mossberg from Tomlinson, a fastball low and inside corner, 0-1. Four to 1 Saints, a 3-run third and a 1-run first has the 4. Riptide tried to answer back with a run in the bottom of the second. But since then, the 3-run third has been all that has stood. The man on first is Chavez. Mossberg faces a 1-1 count against Tomlinson. Tomlinson tries to pick off Chavez, and a nice pick by Pulshin, showing that he doesn't juggle it, in fact. That gets through. Chavez has great wheels. Maybe gets to third. Ole has a good arm. 0 for 1 in terms of throwing out base stealers today, but the throw was there in time. Proctor just couldn't handle the throw. It bounced off of his glove and allowed Smith, the man who was stealing, to get into second safely. Count is 2-1 to Mossberg. Mossberg, 4 games started in league play for the Saints. It's moved up to 6 since the beginning of the series. And there's a slider. Tried to backdoor him there and get Mossberg to chase. But a good eye from Spencer Mossberg puts the count in the hitter's count, 3-1. Small leadoff from Chavez. And the 3-1 delivery from Tomlinson. Swung on and popped up down the right field line. Looks like it's going to be out of play, and indeed it is. Just over the Arroyo Seco bullpen. Sun shining brightly into the eyes of everybody in that Arroyo Seco dugout. That's one of the benefits of playing here for the Riptide. That's just smart field design. Your home team never has to have the sun in their eyes. They got the easy up today. Finding some shade on a hot day. The 3-2. Fastball just high. There's going to be runners at first and second. Nobody out. So Tomlinson faces a little bit of a pickle here, but he's been able to work his way out of most of them this year. Only 2 runs through his 12 2/3 thus far this season. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Blake Burton. Blake Burton was not a starter the very first game against the Riptide, but has nestled his way into the lineup. Pulshin has it on the hop. 3-6, and Phillip is just going to hold on to it. Burton is very fast, especially for a pure first baseman. There's going to be 1 away. The double play still in order for the new guy, Tyler Durna. Tyler Durna, 2 for 2 on the day with a pair of singles, also has an RBI. And they're looking for another ground ball here. Tomlinson, not necessarily a ground ball pitcher, but does have the capability of getting hitters to do what he wants. In this case, he wants them to roll over to either Proctor or Phillip. First pitch, down low, a fastball. That's where you want to live if you're trying to get the ground ball. Lower part of the zone or just below the zone. If you put anything up here, Durna, a very good hitter, likely to make you pay with at least a fly ball, a sacrifice fly that's very likely to score Chavez from third. The 1-0. Another take from Durna. He takes that breaking ball that drops below the knees. It's 2-0 now. And now Durna very much in his favor. He can wait for what he wants. Durna likes the middle in, but can reach across as well. Not afraid of hitting opposite field. There's a big swing and a miss. Drops to a knee, trying to hit a 5-run home run. Nothing doing. 2-1. Tomlinson, strikeout potential. He would love that here. He wants a strikeout, a pop-up, or a ground ball to either of the 2 middle infielders. Already 1 double play for the Riptide. That was in the second. Here's a ground ball. A nice diving play by Phillip, and he's going to double him up. Can you hear that? I hope somebody was filming it. That's right, we are. Somebody send that in. Phillip, the nice diving play and throw to first to double up Pulshin. Ends the 5th inning, and Tomlinson is going to go over there and give a little slap on the rear end and a high five to Phillip. He's going to get a lot of high fives in the dugout. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The Riptide still trail 4-1 on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Breaking news, Bo Phillip is going to get the next invitation to my Dance Dance Revolution team with those quick feet and a web gem in the top of the fifth to double up the runner. And it was first and third, one out, but the very, very nice play, arguably the best play we've seen all season from a Riptide player. Keeps it a 4-1 deficit for Orange County. And the first man up to the plate is Cooper Yule. First pitch, fastball just above the letters, 1-0. Phillips returns out there for his fifth inning of work. He has been absolutely lights out. In fact, he's not allowed a runner on base since the third. And he's trying to get through, since the second actually, and he's trying to get through his third perfect inning. The 1-0 pitch is fouled, straight back, slightly to the right. 1-1, the count's even. Cooper Yule, a welcome addition back into the lineup. Was not at the game on Saturday. Mitch Andrews took that one. That would have been tough for Yule to do. I think it's actually a blessing in disguise for Yule. The temperature was 94, and he would have had to sit at least 5 innings in the catcher's gear. And I say it's a blessing in disguise because nobody got hurt. Nobody was damaged by the heat. Nobody fainted from heat exhaustion. The 1-2, a breaking ball left up high, 2-2. Phillips not liking that call. But Andrews is from Texas. So he has a lot of experience with very hot temperatures. In fact, I interviewed him after the game, and I said, how was it for you in the gear? And he said, it's nothing like it is in Texas. So he could handle it. He manned through it. And he was a good sport about it. So he could handle it. There's a very hard line drive on pretty much something in his back foot, almost sort of golfed that. And it was the hardest hit ball we've seen from a Riptide player all game. Albeit it was foul. Count remains 3-2. Riptide looking to get a runner on base. The payoff pitch. Swung and grounded to the shortstop. Gabri corrals it and tosses on to the first baseman Derna, 1 away. So Yule is retired, and that's going to bring up to the plate Connor Beck. Connor Beck making his first start of the year. Was with the team over the last 2 games, but did not get playing time. Hails from Texas Tech University. Came in a package with Caleb Killian, who started the first game of this 3-game set against Arroyo Seco. First pitch. Low and outside. That breaking ball stayed outside. 1-0 the count. We're in the bottom of the fifth, a 4-1 game. The Arroyo Saints lead. And the 1-0, a fastball, a 2-seamer, it looked like on the outside corner, 1-1. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Saints, 1 run on 2 hits and an error for the Riptide. A check swing that goes off the bat of Beck and just over the dugout of the Saints. It's 1-2 now. People say the 1-1 pitch, the most important pitch in baseball. If it's a ball, you're very much in the hitter's count. If it's a strike, you're very much in the pitcher's count. And the big swing and a miss, a yuckadoo hack over there. He got him 2 away now. This one via the swinging strikeout. And that's going to bring up Paul Gomez. Gomez from Cypress Junior College. Had himself a mighty fine year there. Looking to find a spot in the Division I school perhaps, though, next year. First pitch to him is inside with the fastball, 1-0. Gomez last year played in the Great Lakes League up in Michigan. Says he prefers the sunny weather of California. A dribbler back to the pitcher who makes a nice play and underhands it to Derna at first for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3. 3 straight innings. It's been 9 up, 9 down for Phillips the past 3 innings. They head to the top of the 6th. The Riptide trail 1-4. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Hofling. Stay tuned. Now up to bat in the top of the sixth for the Saints, who lead the Riptide 4-1. It's Derek Gabri, the shortstop. Gabri has a hit today. It's his first hit of the three-game set against this Riptide team. He's looking to keep that going. Has really struggled against this team exactly over the course of the year. Has really done well against other teams, though. .292 average on the year, only one hit in the 4 games. I'll call it 3.5 for Gabri against the Riptide. And one hit was a single. He would later come around to score in that 3-run third. Count to 1-0. The pitch from Tomlinson, returning for his third inning of work, is popped up on the infield. Phillip calls off Gomez and makes the catch on the grass behind the pitcher's mound. 1 away. So Phillip makes the catch. No pop-up dance needed. He read that perfectly. And the new pitch and the new batter in there for Arroyo Seco. The new hitter is Brett Adams, utility man, 6'1", 200 pounds from Scottsdale Community College. And Adams making his first appearance of the series. So he goes to Scottsdale Community College. He is from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I think that's a great place to live, especially if you're a baseball player or a baseball fan in general. The count's 0-2 right now to Adams. But if you don't know, the Cactus League, spring training for baseball, a lot of teams play in Scottsdale, including my favorite team, the San Francisco Giants, as well as my brother's favorite team, the Oakland Athletics. I've tried to convert him, but he just loves that green and gold. The 0-2. Slider just low, taken by Adams. It's 1-2. So Adams replaces Alex Briggs at second base. He'll be in for the remainder of the game. The 1-2, a fastball left just low and away. 2-2, the count's even. So this is the final game of the 3-day set. They had Father's Day off yesterday. Tomorrow they're going to face the Long Beach Legends here at the University of Concordia. A nice diving play, falling play by Fletcher. And I'm sorry if I don't sound excited after that, but if you saw Phillips play earlier, you'd know why. Dominic Fletcher, a very nice play. There's 2 away. Tomlinson looking for his second 1-2-3 inning of his 3 innings of work. Well, 2 2/3 right now. Last inning, had a little bit of trouble. A bunt single by Chavez to lead off. On a questionable call by the first base umpire, they said Polshin bobbled it, which allowed Chavez to reach. First pitch, a big swing and a miss from Kerner, trying to hit a home run there. 0-1. Kerner awaiting the 1-strike count pitch. And here it is. And that goes off the helmet of Kerner. And Kerner, that's why you wear them. Kids, if you don't like the feel of them, that's why you wear helmets. A big ding, the sound it made, but Kerner looks to be all right. For a second, he sort of held his head and sort of walked away, and it looked like something was wrong. But Kerner right now doesn't seem to be waddling or limping or falling off to one side at all. Seems to be all right. The trainers for the Riptide are going to go out there and check. And Arroyo Seco giving Mitch a little bit of trouble from their dugout and giving him a little bit of flack. But everything seems to be all right. As they discuss his head, we'll take a short break and be right back. It's 4-1 Saints on the Orange County Riptide Network. So the trainers have returned to the dugout after a very quick meeting with Mitch Kerner over at first. Just got plunked on the head, and now up to bat is Greg White, the 9 spot for the Saints with 2 away. Riptide trail 1-4, a 3-run third for the Saints have put them ahead, and here's a line drive down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. Kerner was moving on that, moving on contact, and he'll head back to first. The Riptide have not been able to get much going against the starter Phillips for the Saints, but the bullpen is going for Arroyo Seco. As soon as we get word of who that is, we'll let you know. Will Tomlinson fires and delivers the slider, low and outside corner, 0-2. So a nice set of 2 pitches. Has White in danger of striking out. Tomlinson's strikeout potential currently leads the CCL in that category with 16. And here it is, another slider left in the dirt. A nice block by Ewell keeps it in front of him, and the count goes to 1-2. Still in control is Tomlinson. The man on first is Kerner. 2 quick outs and then the hit by pitch. Tomlinson looking to keep this game at the 3-run deficit, trying to make it as close as possible. And he got him a fastball on the outside corner. Froze White in place. Got White looking, grabbed some pine. White for the second time today. White goes down via the strikeout. Tomlinson, a very solid 3 innings of work. Keeps it a 4-1 deficit for the Riptide. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 6th on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. Arroyo Seco head coach Anthony Chevrier employing the starter Phillips out there for his 6th inning of work. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and it's 4-1, the Saints lead. The Riptide in danger of losing their 5-game win streak to bring them to 6-4 in league play on the year. First pitch from Phillips to Phillip is down the right field line, but White tracks it down. A nice play. 1 away. So first pitch, Phillip was hacking. He got the pitch he wanted and made good contact, but White has been shading toward the right field line since the beginning of the game and has made 2 nice plays because of it. Joey Parente, the top of the lineup now, up to bat. First pitch from Phillips to Parente. The hammer lands on the inside corner, 0-1. And the bullpen for the Saints is quiet. Looked like it was going a little bit there. However, now it's empty. Looks like Phillips is going to get through this inning. The pitch inside. It's 1-1 now. A fastball. The back Parente off the plate. The southpaw delivers. The 1-1 is low and outside with the slider. Phillips has been so effective with that slider. He's throwing it almost 50% of the time in this game. breaks almost a full foot, and that's almost unheard of for a slider, especially at this level. The 2-1 pitch in the dirt, not able to be handled by Kerner. It gets behind him, but nobody's on base, and nothing's happening. 3-1 the count now to Parente. Parente looking to get on base for the first time since the bottom of the first, where he hit a single and then got picked off. Parente from Lewis and Clark State took a couple games off from the Riptide and returned a couple games ago and takes ball 4 for the first time in a while. In fact, the first time since the second. The Riptide are going to have the leadoff man on.
Next up, the second baseman from the University of Georgia.
And now the number 2 hole coming up, Will Proctor. Proctor out of the University of Georgia. He's another SEC guy, so he knows Fletcher pretty well. Fletcher's the one on deck. But the Bulldog, the former Bulldog, now with the Riptide, at least for the summer part. First pitch, 2-seam fastball. A little backdoor movement as well as it breaks back into the strike zone. 0-1 the count. Proctor has good power. No home runs on the year, though. Does have a lot of doubles and triples, though. In fact, leads the CCL in triples with 2. And both of those came in back-to-back games against the Santa Barbara Foresters. The 0-1 pitch. Down low in the dirt, a nice block by Kerner. Thought about trying to backdoor Parente at first, but Parente much more vigilant since he got picked off in the first, so he was a lot closer to the bag. And made a much smaller secondary lead. Parente still off to a decent lead. And Parente bluffs a steal. A slider from Phillips, left high and outside. 2-1 the count, so Phillips having a little bit of difficulty in the early parts of this half inning. Finding the strike zone, only 8 pitches, and only 2 of them have reached the strike zone. That one does a changeup on the inside corner. 2-2, the count runs even. Parente over there at first has made several bluff attempts to take second, but has not gone yet. He leads the Riptide in stolen bases. Great speed. The 2-2. Swung on and missed by Proctor. Proctor goes down swinging. Phillips' 4th strikeout of the game. It's actually his 6th strikeout of the game. Sorry, I forgot to count those back-to-back ones in the 5th. That's going to bring up Dominic Fletcher with 2 away.
University of Arkansas, number 24, Dominic Fletcher.
The only run scored for the Riptide in this game, David Miranda scored after he got on base, and then Ewell drove him in via, it was a hit and run and an error. Parente tries to take second. Can't be handled by Kerner, who drops the ball out of his glove on the transfer, so Parente in there with a stolen base. First stolen base of the game for the Riptide, second stolen base of the game. The only other stolen base came from Brian Smith, who took off and got in after Will Proctor was not able to handle the throw down from Ewell. It was on a hop, but still something Will Proctor has worked on and has had some trouble with, but he's getting better at it. That's what he always tries to do. Will Proctor, one of those players, always tries to get better every day. Ground ball to the right side. Nice play by the first baseman, Derna. Underhand to Phillips, who outraces Fletcher to the bag for out number 3. We head to the top of the 7th. Still a 4-1 ball game, the Riptide trail. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. New pitcher in for the Riptide. It's number 1, Kaz Akamatsu from UC Irvine. He's going to be a sophomore next year. He's made one other appearance for the Riptide thus far and gave up 1 earned run in 1 innings pitched. But he's a very good pitcher. Actually started the year on the Orange County Surf. Back when I was doing surf games, I called a game where he was pitching and he was lights out against the Long Beach Legends. First pitch that Smith sees, the top of the lineup for the Saints, gets drilled in the left field. Smith's 3rd hit of the game. He's 3 for 3 with a double and 2 singles. Akamatsu went to Edison High School in Huntington Beach, California. He was 2-time first-team All-League, and he was just recently inducted into the Edison High School Hall of Fame. So congratulations to him. And he's not just a pitcher. He can also play the outfield. In high school, he hit .333 with 7 doubles and 16 RBIs in 28 games his senior year. So he's got a good eye at the plate as well. And the first pitch gets away from Yule. It was in the dirt. Smith is going to take second on the wild pitch. So there's a runner in scoring position, nobody out, and the count's 1-0. It's been a 3-run ball game ever since the top of the 3rd when the Saints scored 3 runs. Since then, Will Tomlinson and Zachary Phillips have been battling it out. Tomlinson working to keep it a 3-run game, and Phillips trying to keep that game as far as possible. A nice sliding play by Proctor. Bobbles it, but makes the throw to Pulshin, who has it on a hop. And it has been lots of web gems for the Riptide in this one. Fletcher, Proctor, Gomez, and Phillip each with at least 1. Phillip with 2. If you did not see the play from Phillip to end the 4th inning, to end the 5th, the 2nd inning of work that Tomlinson was pitching, go check it out. It's fine. You can come back. We're on YouTube. You can come back. You can see everything that happened, but you need to see that play. The infield now on the grass, looking to cut off the runner from 3rd at home. This one's popped to the right and out of play by Spencer Mossberg. 0-1. Kaz Akamatsu. First appearance in the Riptide uniform at home. And the 0-1 delivery. Fastball in the dirt. Nice block by Yule. 1-1, the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on. He's at 3rd, and it's Brian Smith. The man at the plate is Spencer Mossberg. Mossberg is 2 for 3, and the pitch outside. Ball 2, 2-1. It's been hot all week, everybody. Saints have been the Riptide have been pretty hot too, looking to get their 6th win in a row, move to 7-4 on the year. These two teams are currently battling it out for first place in the Southern Division as we are getting close to the halfway point of the season. The Saints have been first for the entire year in the Southern Division until the Riptide took it from them yesterday. There's a ground ball up the middle. Proctor dove but couldn't get it, and Mossberg is on with a single, and an RBI. Smith comes across the plate. It's now 5-1, the Riptide trail. But as I was saying, ever since the Saints won their first game, a 2-0 victory over this Riptide team, albeit a lot of players for the Riptide were not here yet. But they got on to first right then and did not look back until the Riptide took it from them yesterday with the win, leapfrogging over them. A ground ball into the 56 hole, just out of the reach of the outstretched arm of Phillip at short. So Phillip, despite his amazing web gem and Sports Center level plays, could not reach that one. It's 1st and 2nd, 1 away for Tyler Derna. And now Marcus Pointer, the pitching coach for the Riptide, going to go out and talk to his pitcher. Kaz trying to calm him down, remind him what's at stake here. First place. Just remind him, tell him to play catch. That's something I always hear when I talk to pitching coaches. Pitchers get in their own heads a little bit too much, and they just need to worry about the hitter. Just need to worry about the hitter, not worry about who's on base, not worry about trying to get a double play. Just pitch. Just play catch with your catcher and try to get the hitter out. For a lot of pitchers, especially closers, that seems to be the mentality. Well, closers, more the mentality is don't allow any runs. For relievers, though, it's get the hitter out, and that's something you see a lot, and especially in Major League Baseball nowadays. You have specialty relievers, guys who come in for one batter specifically. Bruce Bochy does a very good job of that, or before this year had done a very good job of that, especially with players like Javier Lopez and Jeremy Affeldt. First pitch to Derna. Fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. I remember in the playoff runs for the Giants, especially in 2010, Javier Lopez was the main guy out of the bullpen for the Giants. The 0-1 pitch. Half swing and a miss by Derna, 0-2. But in the NLCS, National League Championship Series, the Giants faced the Phillies. And Javier Lopez came in every single game in the series specifically to face the lefties, Chase Utley and Ryan Howard. That one's down low, a changeup. Tried to fool Derna, but he lays off, 1-2. And then in the World Series, they faced the Texas Rangers, and Javier Lopez being a lefty, trying to get that lefty-lefty matchup. Every game he came in, every game in the 5-game series, came in to face specifically Josh Hamilton. And he did his job, and he was a big reason why they came away. A strikeout for Akamatsu, a fastball on the inside corner, grab some pine, Derna. It's 5-1, the Riptide trail. 5 runs on 10 hits. 3 of those have come in this inning. Zachary Phillips has pitched 6 innings of lights-out baseball and has limited the Riptide to 1 unearned run. First pitch. Right down Main Street to Derek Gabri, the shortstop, 0-1. So since that talk from pitching coach Marcus Pointer, he's pitched 5, and 4 of them have been strikes. The 0-1 delivery. Slider just below the knees and a little bit inside perhaps as well, 1-1. In fact, the Riptide have not had a hit since the second. Akamatsu delivers a ground ball to the shortstop, Phillip, on a couple hops, waiting for the second baseman, but instead decides to throw it to first. Just in the nick of time, the umpire is still waiting to deliver the call and finally gives the out signal for out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Everybody get your mats out. If anybody just take me out to the ball game, though, we'll be right back with the bottom of the 7th on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time, and it's David Miranda, the designated hitter, up to bat, facing Zachary Phillips, returning for his 7th inning of work. He has had the most quality of starts, had a little bit of trouble in the last inning in the bottom of the 6th, but came through with no runs across and gave up no hits. However, he was close to walking 2. And did allow a runner to get into scoring position. That was Joey Parente, who stole a base. First pitch to Miranda was outside. It's 1-0. And pitch number 2, also outside, maybe a little bit low as well with the fastball, 2-0. Miranda, a .435 average, no home runs on the year. In fact, there are only 3 players on the entire Riptide roster with dingers this year. and one of them didn't come in a league game. Corralled by the second baseman. He has it on a hop and tosses on the first for out number 1. Miranda not able to beat that one out. Chavez moved over to second. He was at third at the beginning of the game, but he had to make room for Brett Adams, who came in for Alex Briggs. So Adams is at third and Chavez now at second. With one away, nobody on, it's Jake Pulsion, the man from Houston Baptist. Pulsion, an intimidating force. You look at him and he scares everybody in the room. But in the best way possible, he's the friendly giant. He took the first one. It was a breaking ball that was on the outside corner, 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch, another breaking ball that lands on the outside corner, taken again by Pulsion, 0-2. Phillips delivers the 0-2 pitch, fouled off to the right side and out of play. Count remains 0-2. 0-2, take 2. One away here, a 5-1 ball game. The Saints lead in the pitch. Fastball low and outside. I was hesitant because I almost said corner, but the umpire saying it was just off the plate. 1-2. Pulsion, a great eye. And the pitch. Slider. Tried the back foot Pulsion. He tried that in Pulsion's last at bat. Couldn't get him there. Couldn't get him now. It's 2-2. The count evens up. Pulsion being very patient. And the 2-2. Runs inside with the fastball. 3-2. The count's full. Awaiting the payoff pitch. Pulsion. Pulsion. Swings and misses. Another strikeout for Phillips, his 7th on the day. He has been absolutely spectacular on the mound, continuing his lights-out pitching performance. Now coming up, Cooper Ewell. Ewell yet to have a hit in this game. Something Ewell does before he comes up to the plate every time, you probably saw it on the stream there, was he takes one swing right-handed and then he takes a swing left-handed from the same side. But I've never seen Ewell bat from the left side of the plate. He's not listed as a switch hitter, but when he takes those swings, my gosh, it looks picture perfect. You could paint it and it'd be amazing. Second pitch is outside and high as well, 2-0 with the fastball. Ewell was close to walking his last time up, but eventually got out. The only 2 hits that Phillips has allowed have been to Ewell and Parente. Ewell, the only RBI for the Riptide. A single that was a hit and run. Miranda rounded second, headed to third, and the throw to third was offline, not able to be handled by Chavez, who was playing third at the time. Got through, and Miranda came in to score. That's how the Riptide have their 1 run. 3-1 the count to Ewell. The delivery. Swung on and hit hard into left center, giving chase to the center fielder Smith. He's not going to get there in time. It's going to get past him. Doesn't get to the wall. Throws it in very quickly. And Ewell is going to be on with a stand-up double, his 2nd hit of the game. So they do have a runner in scoring position, albeit with 2 away, but it's going to be Connor Beck, the left fielder from Texas Tech. Yet to get his first hit in a Riptide uniform. And there'd be a big one here, would cut that deficit to 3 runs. Bullpen is going for the Saints, and now the coach going out to talk to his man on the mound, Zachary Phillips. Not sure whether or not they're going to transfer the Pearl, but in case they do, we'll be ready to let you know who's coming in. And it looks like they're going to leave Phillips in there with 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Phillips doesn't have quite the stamina of many starters, but does have good stamina. He hasn't had to pitch many pitches either. We're in the 7th inning, and he's at 88. 2 gone. First pitch. Phillips taking his time. He delivers. A slider down low below the knees to Beck, 1-0. Looked like Beck was taking all the way there. 1-0 the count to Beck. Man on second is Cooper Ewell, a 2-out double. The 1-0. Fastball looked like a 2-seamer at the knees, 1-1. Waiting on deck Paul Gomez should it get there. Looking to cut into this 4-run deficit. And the pitch. A slider in the dirt below the knees. 2-1. So I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that Phillips has been really riding that slider. It's been his best pitch of the night. But in the past 2 innings, he's really struggled to find the strike zone with it. In fact, every strike he's thrown in this inning has been pretty much with the 2-seam fastball or the 4-seamer. 2-1 the count to Beck. Bat has not left his shoulder yet. The 2-1. Swung on and fouled to the left side in front of the Riptide dugout. Counts even at 2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Trying to get their first run since the bottom of the second. Ewell drove it in. He's looking to score. But it's up to Connor Beck. The 2-2 pitch. A slider fouled straight back just off the end of the bat by Beck. Good job by Beck to stay alive. Count remains at 2-2. We'll do 2-2, take 2. Phillips has pitched 6 2/3 of great ball. And there he gets Beck swinging. The fastball was high and outside. Beck chased it, and he goes down via the strikeout. So they get a runner in scoring position on the 2-out double by Ewell, but no one comes across. We head to the 8th inning. Phillips, who could argue he's been the player of the game thus far. Riptide trail 5-1 on the Orange County Riptide Network. We'll be right back. We're in the top of the 8th. The Riptide trail 1-5 at the hands of the Arroyo Seco Saints. Riptide were looking to sweep this 3-game set, but currently not the greatest of probabilities if my math is correct. But hey, crazier things have happened. Leading off is going to be Brett Adams. First pitch from Akamatsu is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Akamatsu returning for his second inning of work. Came in for Will Tomlinson and gave up a run. Kept his 9 ERA in the second pitch. Outside and low as well. The fastball, 1-1. Akamatsu, I was talking to head coach Tiger Peterson about him earlier in the year. He was on the roster for the Riptide since the very beginning of the year, but hadn't been in any games until just recently. And I said, oh, well, he was just playing for the Surf. Are you sure he's actually on the roster? And head coach Tiger Peterson says, yes, he's on the roster. He's somebody who's very much impressed us. Adams rolls over to the second baseman Proctor, who hands it pretty much to the first baseman Polshin for out number 1. So I said, So he's been playing for the Surf. Are you sure he's on the roster? And Tiger Peterson said, yes, we need him. He is such an asset. He's going to be an asset for the Riptide. He was somebody who during the tryout they had the Monday before non-league play started, he said he very much impressed me, and as soon as we can take him, we'll have him on the Riptide. And he has pretty much proven himself. He's been very, very good at limiting runners on base. The 1-out first pitch to Kerner. It's fouled off to the right side, 0-1. Kerner, last time he came up, got plunked on the head by Tomlinson. But first was as far as he would go. And they're going to say that Kerner went around on that, a check swing, 0-2. Kerner awaits the 0-2. Akamatsu has him right where he wants him. And a changeup just in the dirt. 1-2. Kerner being patient. Kerner, he is a catcher, but he does have a good mind at the plate. The 1-2 swung on the ground to the third baseman. Gomez dives, makes the throw in time. How many web gems do we have? We could make a highlight reel of team defense just on this game. Gomez with his second incredible play. And though the bats haven't been the best in this one, the gloves, the leather, has been spectacular. Make sure you're wearing the same gloves, everybody, next game. It's going to be against the Long Beach Legends tomorrow. Another home game. We'll be back here to broadcast that one. Here's a high, deep fly ball. Fletcher moves back, wanders back, and makes the leisurely catch on Greg White for out number 3. So a very quick 1-2-3 for Kaz Akamatsu. Keeps it a 4-run deficit. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. It's 5-1, the Riptide Trail. We'll be right back on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. New pitcher in for the Arroyo Seco Saints. It's Gunnar Friend. He's going to be coming up against Paul Gomez, Bo Phillip in the top of the lineup, Joey Parente. So Zachary Phillips comes out after 7 full innings of 3-hit ball, and the only run on him is unearned. So Paul Gomez going to face Gunnar Friend in the first pitch. Swung on and drilled to the shortstop, but the third baseman, Adams, cuts it off and makes the throw. They're going to say that he fell off the bag. So Durna falls off the bag, unable to keep his foot on. And they're going to say he's safe, but now the umpires are going to come together and discuss that play. I believe the question is not whether or not he kept his foot on the bag, but whether or not, as he was falling, he tagged Gomez out. Gomez had not yet gotten to first and was not behind the glove hand of the first baseman, Derna. So they will discuss, and it's going to be pretty big, actually. Only 2 innings left for the Riptide to catch up, and a leadoff runner on base would do miracles for them. Not only that, but you have the leadoff man on for one of the hottest hitters in the CCL, Bo Phillip. Bo Phillip in danger of losing his 7-game hit streak, longest among the longest active streak among CCL players. Does not have one in this contest yet. He's 0 for 3. And they are going to say that Gomez is safe. Head coach Anthony Chevrier for the Saints, not pleased with the call. And now here comes Bo Phillip. Something about Phillip. I saw him smile for the first time today, and that's not to say that he doesn't love the game of baseball. He's very passionate, and he has a great mind. So he's always thinking, and he's always got a very calm, composed mental attitude, even for about half an hour after the game. But after that play he made, where he dove and doubled off the runner at first, I swear I saw him smile, and it was incredible. 0-1 is the count to Phillip, and the 0-1 pitch. Another fastball at the knees, 0-2. The leadoff man on, Paul Gomez. It's 5-1, the Saints lead. 5 runs on 10 hits for the Saints, 1 run on 4 hits and an error for the Riptide. Small leadoff for Gomez. The 0-2 delivery from Friend. A breaking ball up the middle, gathered by Chavez, who steps on second and tosses on first. So the leadoff man, nothing doing as Bo Phillip hits into a double play, and that might end the 7-game hit streak. The top of the lineup is up, Joey Parente. Parente from Lewis and Clark State has gotten on base twice, once via the walk and once via a base hit. That was in the bottom of the first. And I like to say he's an explorer because every time he gets on base, he gets around. But both times he has not come around to score. First pitch to him, a fastball left to outside, 1-0. Parente, the lefty, has good power. In fact, Arroyo Seco is arguably the most pitchers-friendly ballpark in the CCL. In fact, left field is deeper than center field, 374. But Parente, from the left side, was able to hit it out to that side during batting practice before Saturday's game. And that's what you call country strong, folks, with a wood bat. That's something that would impress even the most successful of hitters. The 2-1 pitch is low and outside, 3-1. Friend can be erratic at times, has a 53% ball-to-strike ratio. And the pitch. Breaking ball drops below the knees for the second time. Parente will be on via the walk. We're in the bottom of the 8th, and if the Riptide want to have a good chance of coming back, they're going to need some runs right now. Will Proctor is going to be the man to do it. Proctor definitely has the clutch gene also. I could make as many jokes as I want about him driving in the clutch or using the clutch when he does so, but he has come up on several occasions. So he has that gene. Nothing phases him. First pitch, a fastball left up high just above the letters. They're going to say it's a ball, 1-0. Parente has a stolen base in this game. Perhaps he'll take off again. This would be the time to do it. It'd be 2, 3, 4 spots in the lineup for the bottom of the 9th. 1-1 the count after Proctor fouled that one off to the right side and out of play. Into the French Hill. Proctor's dad played baseball for the University of Georgetown in 1984. Another bluff steal from Parente, and then a bluff throw from Kerner behind the plate. Got Parente back quickly. 2-1 the count to Proctor. Waiting on deck is Fletcher, and if Proctor can get on base, Fletcher has the capability to make this a one-run ball game. 2-1, a pickoff attempt there. Nothing doing. Parente got back in without having to slide. Fletcher has 2 home runs on the season. Tied for the CCL League in just 4 games, and both those home runs have come against the Arroyo Seco Saints in the last 2 games. This one's fouled straight back just above me. A little deal that they like to do here at the ballpark is that fans in attendance can go get foul balls and then get free popsicles at the snack stand. But be wary. There are rattlesnake signs around the entire campus, so just if you're going to do that, make sure you're safe. This one's grounded to the shortstop, Gabri. It was a hit-and-run play. The throw is in time to Derna at first. Proctor grounds out, and it's still a 5-1 ball game as we head to the top of the 9th. The Riptide trail, but they have life left in them. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. New pitcher in from Central Arizona Junior College, Sam Miller. He writes the initials behind the mound and gets ready to face the top of this Arroyo Seco lineup. That's been the most dangerous spot in the lineup for the Saints. Brian Smith from Occidental College, first pitch. Big swing and a miss from Smith, 0-1. Sam Miller brings to the table a slider, fastball, and changeup. He's got 2 fastballs, 4-seamer, 2-seamer. And that 2-seamer has a little bit of sinking action as it breaks into right-handed hitters. There we see the off-speed slider at the knees, 0-2. Smith has been on base 3 times, a double and 2 singles. He scored 2 runs as well and has a stolen base. He's had himself quite a day at the plate. 0-2. Swung on and missed in the dirt. The catcher Yule is just going to tag him. So first batter that Miller sees strikes out, and now it's Chavez with 1 away and nobody on. Miller on the year. Only made 2 appearances for the Riptide. Struggled thus far, but he is a very good pitcher. That's why they're trusting him in this situation, trying to keep it close before they head into the bottom of the 9th. A 15 ERA right now. He gave up 5 runs in his 3 innings of work. First pitch to Chavez. Low and outside corner with the fastball, 0-1. Ewell has done a great job framing pitches behind the plate. That's something that Polshin and Andrews have had a little bit of trouble with, and I've talked about Ewell's defensive capabilities a lot when he's been behind the plate, but it is just so nice to talk about. A line drive straight at Gomez. Gomez makes the nice catch. That's why they call it the hot corner, kids, because balls come on you in a jiff like a wild hog. But handled nicely by Gomez. 2 outs for Spencer Mossberg. Mossberg has also been a pain in the Riptide side for this entire game. He's gotten on base 3 times. He also has a double and 2 singles as well as a couple of RBIs. First pitch. A slider on the inside corner. It lands 0-1. Riptide looking to keep first place in the Southern Division. They lead the Saints team by a half game. The 0-1, a fastball left up high just above the letters. 1-1, the count's even. Waiting on deck is the DH, Blake Burton. Burton made a couple errors in the first 2 games of the series over at first. Today he's getting the day off for newcomer Tyler Durna. The 1-1 delivery from Miller. Fastball down low, 2-1. Believe it or not, Miller, the 3rd most common last name in America. Sam Miller is the only Miller in the California Collegiate League. The 2-1. Outside, at least he's the only Miller pitcher in the California Collegiate League. 3-1, the count to Mossberg. You don't want to stay too far away from Mossberg. The Saints do a nice job building their lineup, protecting hitters like Mossberg and Burton. 3-1 the count. The delivery from Miller. Swung on and fouled straight back into the chain link fence. Count will run full. Five to 1, the Saints lead. A 3-run them over the edge. They have not looked back since. They have held on to that lead off the left hand of Zachary Phillips. He pitched a marvelous game. And should the Saints win, he is undoubtedly the player of the game. Here's a ground ball down the first base line. A little dribbler to Polshin, who has it and beats Mossberg to the bag for out number 3. So 3 quick outs for Sam Miller. But it's going to come down to the bats of the Riptide as we head to the bottom of the 9th here at the University of Concordia in Irvine. We'll be right back. Riptide looking to come back from a 4-run deficit on the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. Gunnar Friend returns out to the mound for the Saints as we head to the bottom of the 9th. He's looking for his first save of the year. Gunnar Friend, a 1 ERA on the year. In his 2 games, he's 1-0. In his 9 innings pitched, only 1 earned run, and he has 12 strikeouts. No strikeouts in this game, though. Dominic Fletcher to lead things off. He has not come up to bat a single time this game with runners on. And that's tough for a power hitter like Fletcher. First pitch. Swung on and drilled deep to right field, hooking foul and out of play. That's what Fletcher does. He has sneaky power. Doesn't necessarily show it with his swing, but he has such a good eye. He can get underneath the ball, and his swing is built for fly balls and deep home runs. He hits that bottom half of the ball so well. Something that Yonder Alonso, the first baseman for the A's, has really worked on this past year. Before this year, Alonso had only hit 9 home runs in his career best. This year has 17, and we're all just before halfway through the season. 1-1 the count to Fletcher after that fastball was in the dirt. But that's exactly what Fletcher does. He gets underneath that ball with his swing. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and popped up. It's in the park. Greg White moving to his left into left center and makes the catch. He had a lot of time to make it. 1 away here. Fletcher unhappy with himself, sort of threw his bat away. And that's going to bring up Jake Polshin.
Up to bat, the designated hitter from Florida Atlantic University, number 14, David Miranda.
Excuse me, it's David Miranda. Jake Polshin just went to go get the bat of Fletcher. Miranda, the DH. Polshin is on deck. Miranda, the only person to score a run for the Riptide in this contest. Still time, though. They can score more. Miranda got on via the walk and came around on the Cooper Yule RBI single and error. 1-0 the count to Miranda. Awaiting the pitch from Friend. Swung on and drilled into left center. Moving on it is Mossberg, who makes the catch for out number 2. So Miranda can't get it done, and the Riptide are down to their final out. Should they lose, they will fall out of sole possession of first place in the Southern Division of the CCL, and their 5-game win streak will come to an end. And not only that, Phillip's 7-game hit streak will come to an end. Phillip a long ways away in the lineup, though. Polshin waits. First pitch, a fastball right down Main Street. Polshin thought about it, but held back. 0-1. 1 run on 4 hits and an error for the Riptide. The 0-1 popped up, back and out of play. Just beyond the reach of where the stands are. That would have made a loud sound. I don't know if you would have been able to hear that. Counts 0-2 now to Polshin. Finds himself in the third 0-2 count of the day for him. He is 0 for 3 on the day. Looking to stay away from 0-4. Gunner Friend toes the rubber and delivers. Fastball in the dirt. Nice stop by Kerner. 1-2. Polshin from Houston Baptist University. He's a Texas man. 1-2. Swung on and fouled to the left side. And a nice play by Cooper Yule on deck. Getting that with his batting glove. 1-2, the count remains. Friend out of the lineup. Fires. Swung on and drilled back up the middle. The shortstop, Gabri, has it. He has a lot of time. And the throw is errant. It gets around. And Polshin can't go to second. The Riptide dugout not pleased with the call. They thought that Derna over there at first was blocking Polshin from getting around first and heading to second. But the umpire saying there wouldn't have been enough time anyway, and Polshin would have just had to head back. So they're going to say no interference, and Polshin will remain on first for Cooper Yule. So Cooper Yule gets the baton passed to him. He is now the final hope. Yule, 2 hits, a single and a double. He's 2 for 3. First pitch from Friend. Right down Main Street with the fastball, 0-1. He's done a good job of getting that first pitch over for a strike in his 1 2/3 innings of work. Waiting on deck is Connor Beck, a man from Texas Tech. But right now, Yule from LMU fouls this one off to the right side into the French Hill Reserve and out of play, 0-2. But Polshin was in an 0-2 count as well, and he got on base. They're going to call that a hit for Polshin as well. They're going to say that Polshin would have beat out the throw from Gabri had it been on target. Yule faces an 0-2 deficit. The pitch up high with a fastball right at the eyes of Yule, 1-2. Polshin a small lead, not a threat to go. Second baseman playing a little bit close to second base, shading to the left of where his natural position is. That one was a breaking ball left just inside. 2-2 the count. The delivery from Friend. Fouled off to the right side. Yule doing a nice job of staying alive. Yule not necessarily has the best power from the catcher position. Does hit for a very good average, though. All he's trying to do is get on base. Just try to avoid getting out. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the 2-2. Swung on and drilled down the right field line, slicing foul and out of play. And we'll do it all over again. Two and two, the count is still to Cooper Yule. And the 2-2. Swung on and fouled off to the right side once again, and Yule is having himself a battle. The man on first is Pulsion. The Riptide trail 5-1. 1 run in the first for the Arroyo Seco Saints, 3 runs in the third, and 1 run in the seventh. Only 1 run in the second for the Riptide. Cooper Yule drove him in. And here he fouls another one off. That breaking ball gets fouled straight back into the chain link fence. And we'll do 2-2, take 6 now, is it? Probably less than that, but it seems like it. Count has been 2-2 for quite some time. Yule doing a spectacular job, a fine job at that, of keeping himself alive. Riptide looking to keep that win streak alive. They've won 5 in a row, looking to make it 6. A ground ball to the shortstop, Gabri. He's going to fire on over to first, and it is up high. Second time Gabri has thrown errantly to first base in this inning, and it keeps the Riptide hopes alive. Coming up now is going to be Connor Beck. And Connor Beck has a base hit as well in this game.
Next up, the left fielder from Texas Tech University, number 3, Connor Beck.
So it's runners at first and third. Probably going to be no 31 shenanigans going on, or if there is, it's likely to be fielder indifference for the Saints. I doubt that they would risk a throw down from Kerner. Yule has good speed, had 7 stolen bases for Loyola Marymount in his freshman year. First pitch, a fastball on the inside corner, 0-1. For Texas Tech, as a redshirt sophomore, he hit .400 for Midland College. This is going to be his first year with Texas Tech. Here he flies this one to right field. White giving chase. It's shallow and just foul. White gave it a dive. It was still about 6 inches away from him. And they will head back. And for the third straight hitter, it's going to be an 0-2 count. But if history does indeed repeat itself, Beck should be able to get on base. They trail by 4. It's 5-1. The Riptide need to find a way to score some runs. As has been the case for most of the year until recently, it had seemed like the Riptide could not be able to get to any of the starters, and then as soon as they came out, they were able to put up some runs, and they'd love some runs right now. The tying run is on deck in the form of Paul Gomez. The 0-2, a breaking ball left up high. It didn't break enough, 1-2. Beck, the 0-2. Fastball just below the knees. A lot of people in the Saints dugout thought that was the game. But a good eye from Beck keeps him alive. Friend looking to get his first save of the year. The count is 2-2. Beck has worked it from 0-2. The 2-2 swung on and fouled to the left side, rolled in front of the Riptide dugout. The man on first is Yule. At third, it's Pulsion. A home run wouldn't tie it here. They need to get on base. Beck does. The 2-2. Swung on and drilled high, deep to left field, down the line. Mossberg giving chase, but it's going to drop. Yule is going to be at third. And Beck slides into second. A double for Beck puts 2 runners in scoring position, and it's 2-5. Bullpen for the Saints going. It is active. Now the pitching coach going to go out and talk to his man Friend on the mound. That is only the second earned run that Friend has given up all year. And it comes off the bat of the new guy, Connor Beck, in his first appearance for the Riptide. And it looks like there's going to be a new hitter coming up for the Riptide, Tate Shaw, and it looks like a new pitcher is going to come in for the Saints. So with 2 on, 2 outs, and both of them in scoring position, it's Yule and Beck. The Saints are going to bring in the new pitcher, and we'll be right back when he gets ready. 2-5, tying run at the plate on the Orange County Riptide Network. Stay tuned. So the Texas Longhorn, Tate Shaw, is going to pinch hit for Paul Gomez, and the new pitcher out there for the Saints is Josh Walker from Butler University. He's majoring in criminology, and it would be absolutely criminal to not see this come back through for the Riptide after playing such amazing defense throughout, robbing people of hits. Do you like all these criminal puns I'm making? Tate Shaw looking to drive in 2. They're at second and third. First pitch. Fouled right off the mask of Kerner behind the plate, and all of a sudden the Riptide dugout, which had been dead for most of the game, has some life. Everybody's up on the fence looking to create this comeback and make it happen. Waiting on deck, Bo Phillip. He's trying to get another chance to extend that hitting streak. 2 outs, counts 0-1 to Shaw. And the pitch. A big swing and a miss, 0-2. 4th straight time the Riptide hitter has gotten to 0-2, and it's the 4th straight time they're down to their final strike. Walker has come in, and his job is to get 1 hitter out. Shaw looking to make sure that doesn't happen. 0-2 the count. The delivery. Swung on and fouled off and out of play to the left side. He stays alive. Cooper Ewell, the man on third, saw 8 pitches before he finally singled. The 0-2. Fastball high and outside. Good eye from Shaw. 1-2. All eyes are on Tate Shaw. You can hear somebody in the Riptide dugout tell Shaw to hit a bomb. The 1-2 fouled off to the left side, and now to play once again. 1-2. The count remains. The score is 5-2. 1 run across in this, the bottom of the 9th, looking to make a comeback, and it would be quite a comeback at that. Comeback of the century. Faced a 4-run deficit since the 7th, a 3-run deficit since the 3rd, and here he lines it into right field, a base hit. Ewell will score. Beck will score, and all of a sudden it's a one-run ball game. Everybody, do you believe in magic? Because all of a sudden I'm starting to believe in magic. 4 straight hitters have reached base after 0-2 counts. And now the hottest hitter in the Riptide lineup, Bo Phillip, is stepping up to the plate.
Number 19, Bo Phillips.
Bo Phillip, a fresh count for him, facing Josh Walker. And the first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. It's okay. He's going to get to 0-2 and then get on base. That's how it works, right? That's how baseball works. That's how it's been the past couple of hitters. Walker from the stretch. Man on first is Tate Shaw, the pitch. High and tight, 1-1. Oh no, everybody. The pattern is broken. Now get away from this. One and one, the count's even. Top of the lineup waits on deck. Phillip looking to extend his hitting streak and looking to extend that win streak. Shaw takes off. This one's fouled off to the right and out of play. Shaw had a good jump after a small lead. Looks like he might have gotten in there safely. And they need a runner in scoring position. 4 runs on 8 hits and an error. 4 of these hits have come in this inning. After the first 2 hitters got out, it's been 4 straight base hits. 1-2 the count. The 1-2 pitch. Phillip grounds it. Chavez can't get there. It goes into right field. Shaw heads for third, and it's going to be first and third, 2 outs, with Joey Parente coming up to the plate. My, oh my, I do not want to jinx this. And now Kerner going to go out and talk to Walker. My, oh my. This has been quite a 9th inning. All the pressure on the world lies on Joey Parente. Parente needs to be cool as a Penguin at a hockey game right now.
Right fielder from Lewis and Clark State, number 9, Joey Parente.
Parente, third on the team in batting average, needs to get a base hit here. A base hit would at least send it into extra innings. Chavez lined up at his normal depth, but the shortstop Gabri lined up slightly to the right, shading towards second base from the shortstop position. First pitch is outside, 1-0. Should Parente walk? On deck is Will Proctor. Parente has gotten on base 3 times. The runner takes off. Phillip has a stolen base. Not sure if that's a steal or fielder's indifference, but we're at home, so we'll call that a stolen base. The pitch was outside and high, 2-0. And now a base hit here would likely score 2 and end the game. 5 hits for the Riptide, and this is the bottom of the 9th. They've scored 3 runs. 2 more wins them the game. The pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. First strike of the at-bat, it's 2-1. First base is open. They can afford to pitch around. Parente has a hit. Proctor does not. He's the man on deck. The 2-1. Swung on and dribbled to first base. Parente has good speed. Trying to beat the man to the bag. Cannot do it. So after 2 quick outs, 3 runs come across, and the comeback comes up short. This has been a close game, but the final score, the Saints win over the Riptide by a final score of 5-4. Player of the game is without doubt Zachary Phillips. Really limited the entire Riptide lineup. Only gave up 1 run, and it was unearned. That came in the second, and they did not look back. There was a scare for the Saints, and the Riptide so close to getting their 6th win in a row. They fall to a half game behind the Saints in the Southern Division standings, but they have been the hottest team in the CCL, arguably. And I'm sure they will bounce back from this. Stay tuned for the post-game interview. We're going to try to get Cooper Yule. Thanks for watching. I'm Michael Hofling. Final score, 5-4. Saints win. Riptide can't come up with it.